How you going, people? Oh man, it's kind of a yucky day to here today. All right, I think I'm in here. So I want to cover a couple questions that I had throughout. You guys do me a favor, when you leave a question in the comments, put 2 question marks together. And then later on I can go back and just search for 2 question marks, and all those comments will come up, and then I can make a list of all the questions. So if you're asking a question that you really want to answer to that's legitimate, put 2 question marks together, and then it makes it easier for me to go back and find it. Because I was like searching, there were some questions like, oh yeah, I'll cover that, and I'll cover that, and I'll cover, and I don't always make a list. So if you put 2 questions, when you do that, hopefully I'll be able to find it. So I texted myself a thing of the comments. Can you blow somebody's head clean off for false imprisonment? A store locks me in. I nicely ask to leave, and they say no. Is it legal to shoot them? I answered this guy in a comment. Remember, anytime you use deadly force is that force which is likely to cause seriously bodily injury and or death. Running somebody over with a car, kicking them in the head while they're on the ground, shooting them, stabbing them, throwing poison in their face. Anytime you use force that is likely to cause seriously bodily injury and or death, you're going to need to justify your fear for your safety or your protection of others. And if you can't do that, then you're probably not. Now, I know people are going to say, well, what about the fleeing felon rule, Rick? Look, you can shoot a fleeing violent felon. Police do it all the time. But you have to be able to justify that that fleeing violent felon is a danger to you or others. Now, most fleeing violent felonies, it's presumed that they're dangerous to others. So, if you want to use the excuse, I shot him because he's a fleeing felon, you have to be able to say, why was he a danger to others? You know, if he's a rape suspect, he's going to rape someone else. If he just killed somebody, he's going to kill someone else. If he kidnapped a kid and he gets away, we may not find the kid may die. You have to come up with some justifications before you use deadly force. What is deadly force? All together now. That force which is likely to cause seriously bodily injury and or death. All right. So that was the question of that. If a guy locks you in a building and a company doesn't let you leave and they commit false imprisonment, you can use reasonable force to overcome their force to hold you there. So if you try to get out the door and they put their hands on you, you put your hands on them to get them off of you. You can use reasonable force to overcome their force. They're committing a crime. Is a crime a felony? Probably. Is it a violent felony? Unless they start punching you in the face every time you leave, yeah, but would that make a reasonable person fear that they're going to die and they would have to kill them to stop that? Probably not. Let's see here. I know you mentioned you do not like no-knock notice raids, but I was wondering if you could go over the process of a no-knock raid and a legal situation if the police shoot the homeowner. I ask because I believe that there is a homeowner that has a right to investigate suspicious noise while carrying a gun in their home. The homeowner, in the confusion and heat of the moment, even though said homeowner may be armed. Okay, so basically what this person is asking is, if government does a no-knock notice, can you shoot them or can they shoot you? Look, tie always goes to government. It shouldn't, it ought to go to the citizen, but it's just not that way. So, if government shoots you because they're doing a no-knock notice warrant, tough. I mean, that's just the way it is. They're not going to get charged. When cops get charged with crimes, it's because they do things without what they call judicial overwatch or judicial oversight. Which is why cops have to go get a warrant. When we go get a warrant, we're not acting on ourselves and what we're doing alone. We are saying, this is what we have, this is what we think reasonable, Now we need a DA who's going to prosecute it to say, yep, that's a good warrant. Then we need a judge to read it and go, yep, makes sense. I think that'll pass the standard. Here's your warrant. Now that's the way the concept of a warrant is. What that does is it causes judicial oversight of law enforcement, so we're not out there being cowboys and just doing stuff. And I know some people are going to say, well, what about exigency, Rick? You say you can go in there without a warrant. Well, you can. And exigency, although a lot of people want to come here, it's like 30 degrees, raining, everything's got ice on out there, but man, I'm freezing in here. I have my little heater, but I took it to my buddy's house on Christmas Eve so he could keep his freaking patio warm, and he didn't give it back, Pat. So, anyway, I digress. So, judicial overwatch is what helps protect cops. Exigency, the cop has to explain why time was of the essence and there was not time to get judicial overwatch. So, if I go in a house on exigency for destruction evidence, I go up to the door, I go, how you doing? I'm doing an investigation. These people said you guys are selling dope. And hey, it's the cops, flush the dope. Exigency. I can run in, I can stop them from destroying evidence, and I can lock down everybody and seize it. Then I need to go get a warrant. And say in my warrant, Judge, I was at this house doing a drug investigation. When I go up, Billy Bob came to the door and said, as the cops flush the dope, I immediately ran in to stop prevention and destruction of evidence. I seized some evidence. He was trying to flush a pound of cocaine. I want to search the rest of the house for indicia, which is ownership of the house, who controls the house, who has care, custody, control of the house. I want to search for other evidence. I want to search for scales. I want to show for paying O sheets if he's got a log on who he's paying and who owes, and etc. So I want to search for all that. So sometimes these anti, people that want to blame me for telling you the truth about government come here and go, oh, exigency is just on my channel, Think Like a Cop. I've got a video where I talk about going in houses and exigency and all that. Man, it's just comment after comment after comment. You're a traitor. You're a turncoat. You're just one of them. You should be shot. You should be killed. I'm just like, dude, I'm explaining the law. I'm explaining real world how it works, and somehow all these idiots want to attack me and want to talk about killing me and it's my fault and I'm just as bad and I should be tarred. Whatever. I mean, look, there are a lot of idiots out there and they're not my normal viewers. Every once in a while my video gets posted on some other site and then it gets shared with a bunch of freaking loons and then I get bombarded with these crazy comments. So, and because I don't think like a cop, I've got a lot of my videos on private. There's only a few that are popping up, and man, it just seems like that video on exigency and search warrants and entering a house. Man, the crazies are just out in mass. But anyway, so exigency has to be justified by me on why I did what I did. Now, the punishment for using exigency, like everybody wants to say, well, cops just lie. They make up, they smell dope, they just lie and they search everybody. First of all, cops don't want to be searching someplace if they don't think they're going to find nothing. It's a waste of time. It's a pain in the butt. We got to do a report. We got to justify what we did. We tie up units. The sergeant's going to be pissed off. What the hell are you doing? You're out there wasting 2 hours. You got 3 officers backing you up, and you didn't find shit. And that's the 3rd time that happened this week. And next time you smell dope, you better freaking find something. So, for the people that want to run around like idiots and go, the cops are just making it up and saying they smell dope. Well, you're a freaking idiot. Because it just doesn't happen that way. Do cops maybe lie once in a while? Sure. Has there been a couple incidences maybe where a cop has made it up and didn't really smell it because the guy was being a dick and he's like, you know what? This guy's being a dick and I'm just going to screw him over and I'm going to search him anyway. I'm sure it's happened. But to insinuate that it happens all the time and cops just abuse it, I've never seen it. Doesn't happen. Does it happen in these damn liberal left cities where government's out of control and you're voting for liberal left ignorance? Probably, because wherever the left takes over, they want more control. They want more restrictions. They want more rules. They want more abilities to arrest, take taxes, and keep the public in check and their mouths shut. Every liberal place out there, they run around and scream, we want freedom, we want choice, we want tolerance. And they're the most intolerant, unchoice people in the world. It's their way, the highway. All they want to do is take more money, pass more laws, and screw shit up, and take away the American way. That's all the left wants to do. And you freaking whiners that come here and go, well, I'm a liberal, Rick, and I own a gun, and we're not all that. Shut the hell up. If you're voting liberal left, you're voting anti-American. So I don't want to hear your crap. Come here and crying. Just leave. I don't need your ass. I ain't begging you to come here. Anyway, I digress. So, exigency. There's only 3 ways. 3, see a little subliminal sign? Ooh, 3%. 3 ways that government can get in your house. A warrant signed by a judge, which has been approved by a DA and signed under penalty of perjury by an officer saying that this is true and correct. He's given that to a DA. The DA has approved, signed off on it. It went before a judge reviewed it, and a judge signed it. A warrant. That's one way to get in your house. 2, consent. You invite me in or say, come on in, or say, I ain't got nothing to hide. Search my house if you want. Consent is the second way. And the third way is exigency. And on exigency, I have to show a prevention of destruction. I have some sort of emergency that if I wait to go get a warrant, because that's the first thing I need, if I wait to go get a warrant, something will happen that's bad. Somebody will die, somebody will be kidnapped, evidence will be lost, they'll destroy evidence, people will flee. I need to justify why I don't go get a warrant. So, hell, I forgot the damn question. Oh, no-knock warrants. So, on a no-knock warrant, and again, I've covered this in another video, no-knock warrants are the exception, not the rule. No-knock warrants normally require more justification on why you don't want to announce. Okay, most states have a law that says before you enter a house for a warrant, you will knock, you will demand entry, you will notify what agency you're with, what's your purpose there, and demand that the door is open. And then when somebody refuses, then you're allowed to use force. You just can't go up, like you see all the time in movies, police search warrant, kick the door, without giving somebody the opportunity to open it. Now, is there a certain limit you have to wait? No, there's not. Do we kick the door within a few seconds? Usually, especially if we have people running, or especially if we have things that are going to be destroyed. If we're looking for a car engine in a house that's stolen, the odds of them flushing that down the toilet is slim to none, is slim left town. So kicking a door claiming that I didn't want them to destroy the engine would not fly. The courts would rule, that's not exigency. They couldn't flush that engine. You kicked the door too soon. You didn't need to go in there. Therefore, everything you found is lost. You lose the case, and we're going to let your department know that you're violating the law. So that's how those things are handled. Are cops charged for that? No. Do we get in trouble? If you continuously do it, and you get a reputation of lying and searching and not finding nothing and just arresting people because they piss you off, absolutely. Should there be more of that? I do. I think every time a cop charges somebody with resisting arrest and the DA doesn't file, I think the cop ought to get disciplined. I think he ought to get a jacket. Now somebody's going to say, well, we can't control the DA. You can't. But there is a thing as a righteous resisting arrest. I'm about to do a video on some vet that was just mouthing off, and 5 cops kind of beat the shit out of him. They didn't beat him up, but they used way too much force for a guy in a wheelchair. And it was 5 strong cops. Huge disparity of force. And it's totally outrageous. Happened in Oklahoma. But when I do a video on that, I'll kind of cover that. But for warrants, a no-knock warrant, you have to justify why you want a no-knock. And it's normally an officer safety issue. There's weapons, and if you go with a knock, either they're going to flee, they're going to hurt, they're going to arm themselves, etc. Normally, without the fear of arming or officer safety, you're not going to get a no-knock warrant. Every no-knock warrant that I've ever done and gotten, and night service warrant, night service means during a really dark hours when most people are in bed, 11 to 6 in the morning. If you get nighttime service on a warrant, that's different than a no-knock. But nighttime service, you need to justify that. Because the court knows that homeowners, if they're waking in the middle of the night, will probably be startled and they can defend themselves. But on nighttime service, cops are still announcing. we still bang on the door. Police, demand entry, search warrant. Police, demand entry, arrest warrant. Police, open the door, we'll kick it. We have an arrest warrant, we have a search warrant, whatever we tell them, and then we give them a chance, and then we kick the door. Now that could be during a day or a night, and that doesn't matter. And if you shoot at the cops, once they announce, you're going to go to jail. I mean, I hear all these comments. You come to my house and unannounced at night, and you're going to get shot. Well, yeah, you're a big tough guy on the internet, but maybe you will shoot somebody. But you're going to go to prison, and you may get the death penalty if you kill a cop. Because that's the way the government plays that. If they announce, they're protected, and you can't shoot. So you can claim it's my house, my castle, I'm free, this is America. You can't do that. If they announce that they have a warrant, you shoot them, you're screwed. Now, can a criminal, and if criminals were smart, that's exactly what they'd do. They'd be banging on the door, police open the door, and when you open the door, they'd rob you. And if that happened more, then there would be more justification for somebody shooting a cop, because they could use that as a defense, because there's people that have been used that, and so I didn't really know they were a cop. Remember I told you, when we used to do in plain clothes, when we would do a warrant or something, a lot of times if I had a unit available, if I knew the person could look out a window, especially if we were doing a hotel, because when you go to a hotel, the door is usually right next to a window. And when you knock on a hotel door, they always pull the window and look. Even if it's got a peephole. 90% of the people move the window and look to see who's outside their door. Anytime I did a warrant out there, I always had a marked unit sitting right in front of the window with the red lights on. Because we were in plain clothes, even though we had our police vests on, we had our gun, badge, all that crap, we were yelling police. I always wanted, when they opened the window, they would see that marked unit. So there was no way they could claim we didn't know they were cops. We thought we were being burglarized, so we shot them. We didn't know. You know what? Any reasonable person would look out and see a cop there with their lights on, and then have people banging on your door saying, police, open up. It's not reasonable for you to think you were being robbed. You can play the card, you can ask for the thing, but it ain't gonna fly. So if you shoot a cop, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think you're gonna get charged and arrested for shooting a cop, no matter how good your justification is. But the problem is the burden of proof switches to you to prove that you didn't know they were cops. They're gonna say, we were in uniform, we knocked, we demanded notice, we recorded it, we went on a dispatch and we told him we're making entry now, clear the air. There was all kind of signs that he knew. We had multiple units with badges and high visibility vests, and we told him we were the police. And you're going to say, they startled me so I shot them, I thought somebody was breaking in. Guess who's going to win, you big dummy? I mean, the people that come here and act like, oh, I'm going to shoot a cop if they come in my house. Well, whatever, you're a freaking idiot. All right, what was the other question? Let's see. Oh, when you guys comment on my videos, look, I don't want to censor you guys. I don't give a shit what you say. I really don't. Unfortunately, with CommieTube and CensorTube and the little freaking snowflakes up there, every time you guys comment, my video is fine, I don't get any attention, then all of a sudden, you guys comment like I think you should be able to comment, and like I don't want to stop you from commenting, but I'm asking you to either use code words, misspell, put it in a way that I know what you mean or that somebody knows, put it in a way you can convey it without using words like kill, racist, illegal, whatever. The key words that attract negative attention, sometimes revolution, we need to hang, we need to kill politicians. If you use any of those keywords, YouTube starts flagging my videos and the channel, and then I get this undue attention. And then someone else comes here and goes, oh, I'm going to report a video because they're getting violent in the comments. And they're threatening to do things in the comments. And because there's threats in the comments, I'm going to report a video. And then it brings heat on me. So, I'm not telling you not to do it. I mean, I don't care. If I think it's bad enough or I don't want to, I can delete it. But I like freedom of speech, but if you could do me a favor and kind of write in code so the freaking pinko, commie, pink panty YouTube crybabies can't read it and get offended because they're too stupid to figure out a simple code. Hell, you just use pig Latin and reverse a letter and it'll screw them up. But anyway, because a couple videos I put out, it's fine, and then all of a sudden it's on the block list, and I'm like, why'd they block this video? And I go read the comments and I'm like, oh shit, now I know why they blocked it. Because not only do they put keywords, when I put a title or if I put the description, they'll flag it right there. I had a video that was up, it was fine, and I added something to the description to more explain the video. And immediately, as soon as those keywords hit, the video went to, non-share. I call it they're blocked. But they just put it to where no ads, no sharing, we don't recommend it, it's not recommended, age restricted. They do all that BS because of a couple of words. So that's why in a lot of my videos I just put, this happened, very short. One sentence, and in the title I have to be encrypted. Because YouTube is not about free speech, it's not about education, it's not about sharing information and being a good resource. It is about the liberal left agenda that YouTube wants to shove up our butts every time we turn around, and they want to squash anything that doesn't support their 14 bathrooms and 15 different genders. So if it doesn't do that, then YouTube's going to push back and block and shadow ban and do all that crap. And another thing I do, because a lot of you people, because YouTube doesn't, they unsubscribe you. So if you're subscribed, I would tell you to check your subscription every once in a while, because they'll unsubscribe you. I get comments all the time. Also, for notifications, a lot of people don't get notified. When I upload a video, I normally like my own video, because on my main page, it has uploads, it has new upload, it gives all these things, but one of the lists is videos I liked. So since they're not notifying of my new videos, when I like every one of my videos, it shows up in videos that I liked. So if you view the videos I liked, it will show you the last videos I posted kind of in order that I liked them. Because I don't run around and like a whole bunch of videos. I mean, unless I'm doing a video, and I usually don't watch it. So on my liked videos, you're going to be able to see the last videos that I upgraded. And I do that on my horse channel too for the same reason. People go like, man, I didn't even know you uploaded this video, and I was looking at your likes, and that's how I found this video. So after a couple of those, I started liking them all every time I post a video. All right, so I think I covered that. What was the last thing? Defeating entry teams. Some of y'all asked how to defeat. I'm going to do another video because I got long on this one. So, man, my hands are cold. Freaking Pat, don't have my damn heater. There's a bookshelf I'm trying to dry over there. See if it'll hold weights. I'm waiting on a thing for my saddle stand, so I had to do something else. But anyway, let me do entry teams here after this.